Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Know About Embedded System. In today's video, I will teach you how to develop an embedded C code for Watchdog Timer. In the previous video, I have explained you what is a Watchdog Timer, how Watchdog Timer works, and what are the different applications of a Watchdog Timer. So if you have not watched my previous video, I'll update the link in the description box. You go and watch. So in today's video, I'll be concentrating mainly on developing the embedded C code for Watchdog Timer. So before starting the video, if you are a new viewer to my channel, kindly subscribe my YouTube channel and gain the knowledge on embedded system. Let us start the video here. See guys, you know that already. Watchdog Timer is one of the safety circuit which is available in the microcontrollers. In most of the microcontrollers nowadays, without Watchdog, no microcontroller will be developed. So Watchdog Timer, you know that it is going to reset only when there is a software failure or when there is hardware failure. You can see here. So there are two conditions: normal operation and failure. So whenever there is a software failure or whenever there is a hardware failure, so Watchdog Timer will start counting down and it will reset the microcontroller. Okay, let us assume another scenario. So if everything is fine, everything is fine. So what the microcontroller will do? If software and hardware both are in normal, what software will do? Software is responsible for resetting the Watchdog Timer periodically. If you want to reset Watchdog Timer periodically, that will be done by the software. In today's video, I'll be showing you two scenarios. One is a periodic reset, nothing but whenever there is a failure, this part. So one is a software failure and one is software reset, nothing but Watchdog Timer software reset. So there are two scenarios I'll be showing in today's video. So let us go to the next point here. So in the previous video, I have already explained you how the Watchdog Timer will reset. So here you can see this is my microcontroller. If there is any error state, or if there is a software failure, your Watchdog Timer will be loaded with a timeout value. So here you can see I have loaded some value here. So this value we have to calculate using the equations which are provided in the datasheet. So to understand this value, we have to visit our user manual. In the user manual, there will be an equation. Using that equation, we have to find out the timeout value. How much time you want to read? What should be the cycle time of your reset? Usually 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, microcontroller will reset with this value. So after loading this, we have to trigger the Watchdog Timer. So triggering is nothing but we have to give the feed value. We have to assign the feed value to the Watchdog Timer. That feed value is nothing but AA and 55. When you give this AA and 55 to the Watchdog Timer, automatically it is going to take the timeout value into the timer. So this timeout value will be copied to the Watchdog Timer and it will start counting down. So Watchdog Timer will start counting down, and whenever it reaches to FF, so we have to Watchdog Timer will reset the microcontroller. This is the mechanism of your Watchdog Timer. The same thing we have to apply in the coding part. So in the coding is very straightforward and very simple coding. Only two important things we have to do. One is Watchdog Timer configuration and feed value. Two important things. One is Watchdog Timer configuration and second thing is we have to assign a feed value here. So I'll just show you where and all we're doing. So line number, here you can see line number 14, 15 and 16. 14, 15 and 16, whatever you're seeing here, this is Watchdog Timer configuration. This Watchdog Timer configuration is similar to timer configuration, only the registers are different, bit fields are different. Rest all the things it is similar to our timer configuration only. If you have doubts, you can go and watch my timer video. There I have explained you each bit field of each register. So I will update the link in the description box. You can go and watch the timer videos. Okay, so here line number 14, what it says, LPC WDT Watchdog Timer mode. So there is a register called as Watchdog Timer mode. Here I'm going to enable Watchdog Timer and I'm going to reset the Watchdog Timer. So similar to our timer concept here also, we have to enable Watchdog Timer and we have to reset the counter. So the line number 14. And then line number 15, clock source selection. So we have to select the appropriate clock for your Watchdog Timer, or else by default it will take some wrong value. So we have to select appropriate clock. Again, this is also available in the user manual. You can go and visit user manual. The line number 16 talks about the constant WTC, WDTC, that stands for constant value. So this is nothing but timeout value. So timeout value will be loaded to this register, and this value, whatever you are seeing here, this value I got it after doing the calculation. The equation or a formula is given in the user manual. You go and read the user manual of Watchdog Timer chapter. So there they have given the formula, and you can substitute all required required parameters and you will get some value. So whatever you are seeing this value, this is calculated for 5.5 seconds. 5.5 second, it is getting some 1 followed by 6 Fs. So that means every 5.5 second it is going to reset the microcontroller. Okay, and just to know, I was talking about feed value. This is the feed value. So whenever you give the feed value, your Watchdog timer will take the Watchdog counter will take the value from constant register and it will start counting down. So whenever you give, then only Watchdog timer will trigger with the reset value which is provided in the constant register. So this is only important thing you should know. Today's video is concentrating only on this Watchdog timer configuration and it's working. So after doing this, two other things I have to explain. One is a reset indication. How do you say that there is a reset? In order to indicate that reset indication, I'm going to use one string here and I'll be displaying on the terminal. UART using UART. UART string is equal to WDT reset. I'll print whenever there is a reset, I'll print this string. Okay, whenever reset happens. And whenever it is in normal operation, here you can see the third part. So whenever it is working in a normal operation, here you can see it is saying that microcontroller is running in a normal operation. Okay, so like this, I'm just going to indicate reset and also I'm going to indicate normal operation. Okay, so now what I will do, I'll show you the software reset, software failed reset. The first scenario is nothing but this one. I'm assuming there is a software reset. So I'm assuming software failure reset. So Watchdog timer is configured to reset the microcontroller continuously. The software has to reset the Watchdog timer in order to avoid continuous reset. So currently I'm not resetting Watchdog timer. If you see the coding here, so coding in while of 1 it is running. I'm not resetting Watchdog timer. Setting Watchdog timer. So what is the expected output? Expected output is every 5 seconds the microcontroller should reset. That means every 5 seconds this string should print. The line number 10, whatever you are seeing, that particular string should print every 5 seconds to indicate there is a Watchdog timer reset. Okay, this is called as error reset. It is also called as hardware failure reset, or it is also called as Watchdog timer reset. Okay, so now I'll flash this code and I will show you. Okay, so now I'll show you. I'll flash the code here, hex file I will flash, and I'll show you output for first case, nothing but software failure case, Watchdog timer reset due to software fault. Okay, so now I have flashed here and I'll open my terminal and select here. Now you just observe what is going to happen. Yeah, observe here. So after printing around 10 times or 12 times microcontroller normal, it is also printing something called as Watchdog timer reset. Correct, right? If you see here, so this is actually real-time output which is coming from the microcontroller. You observe there. So every 5.5 seconds Watchdog timer is resetting. Microcontroller is resetting because of Watchdog timer. Okay, this is a first case where my microcontroller or my software is failed. So there is a fault in the software and software failed to reset the Watchdog timer. This is my first scenario. Now what I'll do the small changes in the code and I'll show you the second scenario. My Watchdog timer should be reset whenever it is okay. Now what I'll do here, I'll put one condition here. If in our watchdog there is a timer, there is a similar to timer, here also there is okay. So in watchdog timer also there is a timer counter register, but that is called as timer V. So we will call by this name TV. We will call watchdog timer value register, timer value register. Okay, so now I have to compare this with certain value. Let us assume I'll be using some value here, something like this. So this timer value is there, no? This is a counter which is running inside the watchdog timer. Okay, so I have to compare this with some predefined value. So whenever this is going beyond this, I'm going to reset the watchdog timer. So here I'm going to reset the watchdog timer. So how to reset the watchdog timer? Very simple. I have to assign a feed value. Assign feed value to reset watchdog timer. Very simple. When you assign the feed value, that is going to reset the watchdog timer. So reset WDT by feed value by giving feed value. So when you give this feed value, this is going to automatically, it will start from this value again. The counter, whatever which is running inside, that will start from this value, so that it will never go to the minimum value. Okay, so if you observe in the previous explanation, watchdog timer will start counting down, and whenever it reaches FF value, this is a minimum value for watchdog timer. Whenever it reaches to FF value, then it will reset the microcontroller. But what now we are doing, using this coding technique, we are feeding watchdog timer once again in the middle itself, in the not at the end, somewhere in the middle. We are assigning feed value to load the predefined value for the timer watchdog timer constant from the watchdog timer constant value. So whenever you give this is going to reset to this value. Okay, so now we will check output how this will work, and we will see the differences. Okay, just so now I have flashed the updated code. Updated code is nothing but resetting the watchdog timer before going to reset. Okay, so I'll just go to terminal here. Now you can see, just observe what is going to happen. According to our theory part, the watchdog timer should not reset at all. Microcontroller should not reset. It should always print that microcontroller in normal, MCU normal. So observe there. So it is not resetting. Why it is not resetting? Again, you need to recall our PPT here. In the PPT, I have told you there are two scenarios. Right? So you should understand this point here. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to. So the first time whenever I have shown you output, that is called software failure. So I was assuming there is a software failure, and I will not reset watchdog timer, and I will go and reset my microcontroller periodically for approximately 5.5 seconds. But in this example, what you're seeing here, so in this example, this scenario, it is working now, the second one. So I'm assuming the software and hardware both are perfect, and I'm going to reset my watchdog timer. So I'll reset my watchdog timer, and I will enter into normal operation. So these two are two different operations of watchdog timer. One is watchdog timer reset whenever there is a software failure or hardware failure, and the one more is microcontroller normal operation by resetting the watchdog timer periodically before watchdog timer resets the microcontroller. So this much for today's video. So I hope you have understood what is a watchdog timer and how to develop the coding. If you feel this video is an informative video, please click on like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel and gain the knowledge on embedded system.